I spent a week cruising on Royal Caribbean's Symphony of the Seas, a massive ship with loads of facilities and activities. Today, I'll be reviewing this cruise. Stay tuned to find out what I like and didn't like about it. Coming up next. Hi, this is Ken and welcome to my channel, Ken Travels 360. As my cruise on Symphony of the Seas comes to an end, I thought it's a great time to review my experience for the last week. First, let's talk about the most important subject, food. This is our first cruise since the new simplified menu was introduced. What did I make of the food? Overall, the food quality is still very good. There is perhaps a slight drop in quality of the food compared to last year's. I thought the escargot were not as good this time as last year, but overall the food quality is still very acceptable. Yes, some of the classics have gone, but there is always some good option around. So for me, the food is still acceptable. You probably have heard that you can now get only one lobster on the Royal Night, whereas previously you can have multiple ones. That's true, and it's all part of the trend across the industry, so I think we'll have to accept that. And really, after a few days on the ship, I rarely had the appetite for more than one main course anyway. There are lots of specialty restaurants available on this ship as well. I've tried only the milkshakes at Johnny Rockets, and they were divine. Next, let's talk about beverages. Unusually, for this cruise, I've got the deluxe beverage package, and hence I was able to enjoy all sorts of drinks during the whole cruise, and yes, that was really enjoyable. Not having to watch how much each drink costs, that was really nice. Overall, they offer good quality alcohol, and if you can get the deluxe beverage package at a good price, then I think it's pretty good value, considering that you can use it to get milkshake at Johnny Rockets, or smoothies or protein shakes at Vitality Cafe as well. Next, let's talk about the stateroom. I think the stateroom quality on Symphony of the Seas is rather good, and our center large balcony room has an excellent location and feels rather spacious. This is probably one of the last few cruises by Royal Caribbean that they still offer 2 housekeeping services per day, and I really enjoyed that. I will miss having the evening turn-down service in the future. Next, let's talk about the fun thrills. Symphony is definitely one of the best ships for thrills. Water slides, ice skating, zip lining, and not one but 2 full riders. These are gonna keep you really busy throughout the cruise if you choose to do so. I also tried the laser tag, and that was a lot of fun too. I last played that in my uni days, and I've forgotten how much fun that was. Try to reserve the slot as soon as possible, and even then I didn't manage to get a slot. However, you can try to get there 15 minutes before and wait in the standby line, and like we did, and we eventually got in to do it. It may have sounded strange to do a 7-day cruise to the Caribbean just to visit a couple of ports, but it's really the ship that is the main attraction. With 3 sea days, you've got a lot more time to experience all this ship has to offer. Next, let's talk about Coco Cay. This was probably one of the best port calls you could get. As a private island with beaches and pools and filled water park, you basically got everything you need for a great stay in the Caribbean right by a port. You don't have to get a taxi to transfer to a specific beach, and the food there is included too. Drink packages also work there, so it's like an extension of the resort facilities on the ship. We also visited the Thrill Water Park on the private island, and that was so much fun too. You're really unlikely to get bored there. Let's talk about the pool facilities and sun lounges. There are 4 pools here and a dozen jacuzzi around on Symphony, and there is the adults-only solarium as well. There are hundreds of sun lounges around. However, particularly on sea days, with the beautiful sunny Caribbean weather, all these facilities become super crowded. It's impossible to find sun lounger if you haven't woken up early to try to save yourself the chairs. Now the ship is designed to accommodate 6,000 plus cruisers, and we've got that number on this cruise, 6,300 people. However, it's really designed for people to spread around doing different things. So when everyone decided to do the same thing, like enjoying the sun on the sun deck, then the sun deck became a nightmare. This happened also, for example, on the embarkation day at Windjammer. Whenever everyone decided to head to the same place, then you really feel like you're on a cruise ship with thousands of other people. Next, I will talk about entertainment. Let's talk about the shows that they have put on here. Hero, the water acrobatics and diving show, was absolutely amazing. The ice skating show 1997 was truly stunning, with some wonderful skating skill on display, and there was some also wonderful drone display at the beginning too. The Broadway show Hairspray was very good too, although as we haven't had that show in London West End, the songs were quite unfamiliar to me. Then you have their own production show, Flight, which was rather awesome too. And you've got Ice Skate 2.0, adult stand-up comedy shows, Love and Marriage show, karaoke, live music, disco and street parade, etc. If you want entertainment, you'll get loads on Symphonies of the Seas. At this point, I will have a quick pause and ask you to hit the like button if you have been finding this video useful. It will mean a lot also if you will subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. I've got loads more cruise video coming up and you wouldn't want to miss them. Let's move on to the subject of internet. On this cruise, I had the need to use the internet on a sea day, so I purchased a 24-hour pass for this. Symphony has the Starlink installed, so the internet speed is adequately fast. In fact, it's fast enough for streaming. It's rather expensive, but if you want it, then you have to pay for it. On the ports we visited there were a few places where we could use Wi-Fi, and at places like St. Thomas, which is part of US Virgin Islands, because I've got free roaming in the States, I was able to roam there too. Next, let's talk about the sea conditions. I have no trouble at all on this cruise with seasickness or the sea conditions. The first few days we were sailing very slowly and the sea was super calm for most of the time, so I didn't really feel any motion. We then had a medical emergency, so the ship had to divert a little bit to Providenciales, and afterwards the ship sailed faster to catch up. By then, I seem to have got the sea legs anyway, and so I never felt any sea sickness. I didn't have to use the pills or the bracelet, which is really great. Let's talk about the gym or the fitness center. The gym here is one of the best I've seen on cruise ships. It's got possibly more equipment than many land-based gyms. If you have a workout routine to stick to, then you've got the equipment on this ship to do it. What really impressed me is that they have a cafe here offering even protein shakes, and you could use the beverage package for it. Next, I will talk about the ports of calls. As I mentioned earlier, Coco Cay is really excellent. The other two ports that we call on this cruise are St. Martin and St. Thomas. At Philipsburg St. Martin, we joined an excursion to do a round the island tour, visiting the French part of the island, Saint-Martin. We had 3 5-minute stops, which is for photos only, followed by 3 half-hour stops, which felt neither here or there. We visited a beach for half an hour, and the time was not really enough to really enjoy it. We then went to Marigot, the capital of the French side, and there the 30-minute stop was okay. We then got to Maho Beach, and there we decided we have enough of this rush. The tour has cruisers from other ships that needed to get back to their respective ships quite soon. But for us, we still had like 4 hours left, so we told our driver and guide that we will be returning to the cruise terminal ourselves. That was when our experience improved dramatically. Staying behind, we were able to experience all the major plane landings on that day, including the iconic KLM plane landing. I think in the future, we'll just get local taxis to get to points of interest instead of being rushed around. which was exactly what we did the next day at St. Thomas, US Virgin Islands, and we really enjoyed that. Next, I want to talk about the staff. One of the great things about Royal Caribbean cruises is definitely their staff. They're really friendly and always eager to help. I've witnessed a few times how staff went beyond the call of duty to help their customers. On one occasion, I saw a bar staff running after the customer who has left their handbag at their seat. That would have saved that person a lot of agony. Our waiter at the main dining room, Ryan, as well as our room attendant Lily, both did a great job. At the main dining room, after ordering a Prosecco and a glass of red wine for dinner on the first night, on subsequent nights, the same beverages will just automatically order for us and deliver at the right time. This is excellent service. Right, let's deliver my overall verdict. Overall, despite some cutbacks, Royal Caribbean has managed to deliver a very enjoyable cruise for us on Symphony of the Seas. So much so that actually on this ship, we'll book another cruise with them in September 2024 from Athens. I'm also looking forward to our next cruise with them, which will be from Civitavecchia in June this year on Odyssey of the Seas. Right, it's time to finish this video now. I hope you enjoy watching it, and if you do, why don't you watch another by clicking on one of these links. See you over there. Ciao!